and welcome. Happy Friday. Just in setup mode, so I will be right with you. There. It's come up and we're live. Good evening and welcome. I'm so glad you could join me tonight. How are you? You good? Hi Dawn. Welcome, my lovely. How are you? Hi Yvonne. Happy Friday. Eileen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here you all are. Hi Rose. Mandy, hi. Sylvie, welcome. Good evening, everyone. Oh, good morning. Good afternoon. Alida, hi. Gwen, welcome. Hi, Chris. Hi, Ian. Well, welcome, everybody. Hi, Pippa. Trina, hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Kay. Dibs, Dawn. Naughty girl. Hi, Sylvia. Good evening, Kay. Welcome. Hi, Deirdre. May, hi. Oh, it's so nice to see you all. I hope you've had a good day so far. Those that have had a day so far. If not, I hope your morning's going well. Hi, Julie. Penny, hi. Hello, Sylvia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, we've got a pretty little number for you tonight. So there is some more fussy cutting. I did promise in the week that we'd do a bit more fussy cutting. So we've got some fussy cutty butterflies. I've not pinched Joe's. I made my own, I promise. Wouldn't dare. So I thought we'd get a little arty, and we're going to do a little bit of experimenting and a bit of a play. Because this one, I don't think this is just not going to take us very long at all. It won't keep you entertained for long, and I know you like to be entertained. Hi, Sandy. Welcome. Glad you made it. Hi, Philippa. Ageeth, hi. Hi, Jacqueline. Hello, sister of Jacqueline. So, shall we start? This colour combination is one of my favourites, and I think the green lends itself to keeping things very fresh. And I love that spring, fresh, clean, and a little bit of sparkle, if you've noticed. So, let's get on with it. Let me put that so I can see it. I like to have a reference, because if I don't, I forget where I am. I get interrupted. Well, no, not interrupted, sidetracked. My teacher always said I was easily led astray. So we're going to start with a beautiful piece of watercolour card. And this is 13 by 19, which is 5 and a bit by 7.5 inches. Just for a rough guide, I'd go towards an A5. That's what I was aiming for. Now, before we start, I'm going to mask the edges. I love that clean edge look. So I've got some low tack tape. I'm going to start this side where I can see, actually. And then I can turn it round as I go, because I can't lean over because there's a camera in the way. So I'm using the edge of the paper as a guide. I'm just taking it a little bit over to try and keep that edge clean. about there. Hello and welcome everyone. Sarah, what are you like? You stabbed your fingers too many times today. Is that what's happened? It's distracted you, all that loss of blood. There. Right, that's masked off. So we can move it because it's on a piece of paper. So first off, the colours. The new green parrot and the new flying fig. I just adore this colour, and the combination is one of my favourites. We're going to start with flying fig. And I'm going to blend it just a little. Let's move it out the way just to the side because I'm going straight onto my craft mat. Strangely enough. And then the green, again, a little bit further down. I'm using a brush to put it onto my craft mat and not putting it straight on because these are new inks, they're very juicy. And I want to control how much I actually put down to use. So water. And then a paintbrush. Now I've got quite a broad paintbrush. This is from the 300 series and it's the half. And I am going to wet my paper just gently. Nothing too mad. There's a cat hair, naughty Poppy. And I'm going to start just in the middle. And I want to be quite free, loose with that first colour. I'm going to have a little bit more green. That's not strong enough for my liking. That's getting better. So I'm just moving it about a little. Nothing mad. Just a little in the middle there. And then we can add the purple, which is a bit brighter, to these edges. And we can pull it out just into that centre. I'm not being overly precious or careful about it, really. I just want some colour on that paper. I don't want it all over. I'm quite enjoying some white space at the minute. So that'll just sort of trickle into each other. I'm having trouble with my worms tonight. My words just aren't working. So just mop that little up. And then I'm just letting that do its thing. It's merging just a little, which is just what we want. But we can dry it off just a tad. Is that so you can't give somebody a flying fig? You don't want to give a flying fig? I know what you mean. I am having trouble with my worms. Me wordy worms. Not me magic worms. Right, this is already lifting that tape. As you can see. There you go. You don't have to do a thing. So we can move that off. I'm going to save that because we can use it again. So it's not very sticky. It can be handy. How gorgeous are those colours? I love these clean, crisp edges that you get. Sarah. We've always said that. As a family, we've always said that. How strange is it? So the stamps I'm only using a couple of stamps, but keeping it really simple. That's why I say we might have a bit of a play. In fact, I think we will. So I'm going to use my green parrot. I love this colour, I do like it. And my flying fig to the base. Now, if you want to blend that out, if you don't want any harsh lines, just tap it with your brush. That'll sort it. And then I'm going to spritz this very lightly with water. I'm hoping you'll catch how much I put on there. It's very little, so hopefully you can see the moisture on there. So I'm going to pop this towards the middle. So you can see it's exactly the same ink, but you get a really different look, which is fab. We'll do that again. I always use the light colour first, because then you don't get into too much trouble, into too much danger with the darker colour. That's since you made me that worry worm, Sarah. That's what it is. And again, I'm going to spritz this, but I'll do it just at arm's length out the way, because otherwise I'm going to get everything really wet. And I'm going to pop that one this side. Beautiful. Now I'm going over to the smaller of the two, and we can do the same again. I love stamping with elements. Now this time I'm going to hope, yeah, I've got enough ink on the brush. Again, a light spritz. And we can come off that main branch. I always dry it in between inks. That way you're not watering your ink down too much. What stamp is it? This is the berry leaves stamp. You'll be wanting the number, won't you? It is Lavinia 577 is the stamp number. So again, I'm just tapping that colour on. And we can pick up the same this side. There. Now I'm going to leave those out, because like I say, we're going to have a bit of a play. So whilst that's driving, never stamp with elements. Oh, I love watercolour techniques with the elements and stamping. It's just fabulous. Go for it. Right, so I have a spare piece. Offcut. People are always asking me, well, what do I do with my offcuts? I tend to use them more times than not. I've got Flutter and I've got some Versamark. So I'm going to stamp 3 flutters on this one piece of card. I know you can't see anything, but you will. Polished gold. Wow, embossing powder. It's a beautiful colour, really gold. There they are. Not worried too much about the background. And I don't need my anti-static bag because we're going to be cutting it out. And I'm not going to colour the butterflies. I'm going to leave them white for the contrast. So I'm just warming up my heat gun. I kept pins. And then we'll heat up our embossing powder. This always fascinates me. It's the first thing my best friend ever showed me with crafting. Embossing powder. I thought it was magical. I still do. There, how pretty are they? Just plain gold butterflies. So now we've got to cut them out. For those of you that go to the open day, I'm sure Jo, if you've got nothing to do, I'm sure Jo will have a little tin that she keeps her little butterflies in. So when she's got a few minutes, she just makes some more. I'm sure you'll find some to be cut out. I love sitting at Jo's desk cutting out butterflies. I don't know what it is. It's very soothing. So these are old parchment scissors. I wouldn't suggest you use your new ones. But they're great because they're curved. They're great to cut around curves. I've been doing a lot of footy cutting lately. It's like you have to be in the mood for it. And when you are, you just got to get on with it and do it. Now try not to cut too close to those antennae. That's right, Rose, you did. They're lovely to use in all sorts of different ways. They really are beautiful inks. Oh, wrong way. I tend to move my projects and not the scissors too much. So I don't know if that's because I used to be a machinist and I'm used to moving work and not the machinery. I'm not sure. Maybe. There's one. I mean, you can trim them a little bit more, but I won't go too mad. Makes a change from colouring in. Need some decent scissors. Little scissors with a sharp point on are useful. That's why I like these. And it's a bonus. I find the curve really useful as well. But it depends. Some people are so precise. I'm in awe of seeing people cut out the way they do sometimes. They get this perfectly equal edge and it looks like it's been die cut. I aspire to that. Don't always achieve it, but I do aspire to it. Hi, Eva. Oh, I'm going to switch them round and I can cut around that curve. Fab. I think we all have our own favourite scissors, don't we? Nothing wrong with that, Sally. It's not a race. Not at all. I do have to remind myself not to stick my tongue out there. One more and we've done with all that. go. It's happening. We're nearly there. At least it's given the paper a nice time to dry out. I haven't touched parchment in years. Don't have a lot of time, I'm afraid, and parchment does take a long time. There, 3 little butterflies. Put that in my recycling. See, I love those leftover bits. They're great. Quickie glue pen. They are lovely and they're great. So we can be a bit free. I'm going to go up the stalk with my glue pen. Let's add a couple of little dots too. There. Fabulous. That should be plenty. And I'm just going to dry that off now. When you use foils or gilding flakes, your glue needs to be reasonably dry. I've done this, set it up, not heat dried it, but let it dry on its own. Come back the following day, and it still worked. So you know, don't worry about it. Don't rush. Gilding flakes like the foils just need it tacky. So I'm just going to cool that down. Oh, silver, how pretty. So I'm using metallic gilding flakes, the glamour ones. I love the colours. You get all sorts in this one. Look at that beautiful blue. It's like a kingfisher. And it's fairly new, so they're big bits still. Look at that. Woof. So we're just going to pinch it out. Drop it down. Give it a little rub. It's a big sheet. Look at them. So that should be plenty. Now if I like to use my distress brush. It's a multimedia brush really. But I find it perfect for this job. It does it so well. It just seems to have the right strength of bristle. So don't sneeze or breathe when you do this. Not the flakes. Yeah, I've got the flakes out. I love flakes. I love all the different colours you get from it. Let's get the first bits back in the pot. quick before we sneeze. Otherwise you're chasing flakes around forever. And then we can polish it off. There. Makes it beautifully shiny. You can get the flakes. I think you can get the flakes a lot finer than you can the foils, but I love them both. You get covered in them. Oh, that's it. There's next to none on my work surface. That's great. And they normally get sticky on here. Right, I'm going to matte and layer this one, or at least put it on its first layer. And look what I found. Look what the fairies brought back home. My new bippity boppity glue. I've been looking everywhere for this. I found it. I swear the fairies move things in my workshop. I swear they do. It's a little crinkled with the heat. But as long as we hold it down, in fact, if I do it that way, burnish it a bit, might help. It's beautiful green. Where was it hiding? It was hiding. There's a bookshelf behind my camera where I strap all my camera bits to. And it was hiding on there. So I put it in the right place. You know, it was where I needed it most. But I forgot that's where I'd put it. So my cutting board will whiz round the edge of this. And then we'll do another one. Same colours. But we'll use a combination of permanent so the Best Fine Clair and the Elements. There. And I would put that onto white card, but I might do that another day so we can play a bit. Let's put that down. That will flatten over time. And then we need our butterflies to stick on. It's not a heavy paper. The card I matte and layer onto, I can't remember if it's 200. I think it might be 200. Strong enough. There, so just a little bit of curl in the butterfly leaf, wing, even. Some bippity boppity. It just helps lift it off the paper. And I do love this glue pot that we have now for the bippity boppity. It's fabulous. The nozzle's really, really good. You can get it right where you want it. So just turning that around my pen. Thank you. They're so pretty. Makes a change to do something soft and pretty. There. I've had that sort of week this week. It's been great. Oh, last one. There. Now to finish this off, away from that card, some of the elements, just a tiny tap on my craft mat, plenty of water, and my fan brush. Hopefully I've got enough on here. Yes. Just to add a little colour to the card. There. So I'd mat that, excuse me, I'd mat that onto white next. So I'm going to pop that out the way for a moment or two. I've got some more watercolour card. Same sort of size. It's a little bit bigger because I've just cut the A4 in half. So it's A5 size. Thank you. It is a beautiful colour, isn't it? So we're going to do 2 for 1 on this one. You've seen this before, I'm sure you have. But I know there's new folk out there that might not have yet. Excuse me. So for you, green parrot, stencil. This is Flurry, this stencil. One of my favourites. And I'm going to load my brush up. Actually, shall we do the same? Let's put those tapes back, and we can use that white edge again, that clean space. Good idea. Another poppy hair. She must be sat on this bench. Honestly, I'm having trouble with English tonight. Very much so. There. So that's the same tape used again. This is Flurry. I'm going to play it that way round. And we can blend that through. And I've got the Flying Fig. Got loads in the lid. I'm going to use that. Wow, look at that. How vibrant is that? I love those colours. Let's take the edge off. It's when it really shows itself. Look at that. Simple, quick, beautiful background. They are, Sally. And I don't want to waste the ink that I've got on my mask. So I'm going to spritz that with water. Get another piece of card. Pop that on top. No tape this time, because I'll take what I can get for this. And so I can rub it, a piece of paper, without getting inky hands. They go beautifully, don't they? Don't be afraid of mixing your colours. They're a beautiful contrast. Look at that. How nice is that? Love that print, that second generation. And then I can just wipe that clean. There. Sorted. So then we can choose which one we use next. I love that pretty much by itself. I might leave that one just as it is. I think it's just gorgeous. You imagine doing that with your decor colours and putting it in a frame. You've got a gorgeous picture. So I'm going to dry this one off. It's a little more open. So it means that the stamps I've got will work beautifully on it. The full one, a nice beautiful silhouette, one of the fairies, a nice big fairy stamp on there would be lovely. But it shows just how far. Oh, you certainly could. That'd be lovely. You want me to use the first one? You want me to use this one? Shall we? That's what you want. That's what you'll get. I'm going to use the same stamps as we've used before. So it depends if they show up. We'll try it. So this time I've got VersaFine Clara permanent ink. And this is avocado. Same thing. That on the top. Then I'm going to put Monarch down at the bottom. Again, I've got a smaller brush for my permanent inks. This is a little one, so it's just softening that off. And again, it's leaf on top of leaf. Wow. It shows, but it's right in the background. That's okay. Nothing wrong with being a bit subtle. Not that I'm subtle very often. Have a bit more ink on there. There. This is a great way, you know, if you want to shade your leaves. It's a great way with one of these little brushes. They're fab. See, you can see it. It's there still. Subtle, but it's there. We'll use the little one again. Lovely. Actually, I'm going to go that way. Into the card. Makes more sense. There. Now let's make sure that's dried off first before we go any further. So always do to the back what you do to the front. Stops it from going too curly. The other thing we can do with these shapes is to colour them in with glue. So we can pick a few of these. I just love the shapes. They're very paisley, aren't they? These bits in between. So it's working with the stencil pattern. Do I have a different colour brush for each different? I have brushes for permanent inks and brushes for water-based inks. And then I'll have a group. So I'll have a dark green and a pale green. A dark blue and a pale blue. and so on and so forth. The one you must never mix up is your yellow. Just have one brush for yellow and let orange have its own brush. Yellow will contaminate absolutely everything if you're not careful. So you'll change every single colour because it's a primary. So it will alter your results. So in answer, I have one for each group and one for each type. The same thing. I tend to use these smaller ones for the permanent ink. So the middle size one and the tiny ones for permanent ink, just so I can control where it goes a little more. Oh, Moira, don't worry. So I hope that answers your brush question. I used to have different brushes for oxide inks and my elements, but I find if you wipe them off thoroughly onto copy paper before you use them on a different one, it's okay to use the same one. I haven't got enough pots to keep that many brushes. I wish I had. If I could, I would. They'd have their own set. I started doing that, but it got unmanageable after a while. Then I got them mixed up. Excuse me. Which is never good. So now I just make sure I clean them thoroughly on copy paper. I never wash my brushes. I literally just clean them until keep brushing until they don't give off ink anymore. Good. Yeah, yellow can be a bit of a bully, as can red if you're not careful. It's the primary colours that they're a bit stronger. So we're just drying that off. This is going to be a sparkly one. So yeah, like you suggested, you could use glossy accents. They work really well, don't they, these colours? They're lovely. They're a contrast. So cool that down again. There you go. Some beautiful foils. Look at the colours in that. Foils, the flakes. That's what I like about these. That's what the foils don't have, is this myriad of colours. So I pat them down first, and then you can buff them. Again, get the majority of that out the way. They might go everywhere, but they look so beautiful when they're on. Wonderfully sparkly. And if you used oranges and browns, it would make a lovely autumnal card. So, and look what I've got here. It's my cutout earlier. What's Sarah up to? She's up to no good, do you think? Maybe she stabbed her fingers more than she wanted and had to go into another room to express the pain. I thought I'd lost my bippity boppity glue again then. You're stabbing, I thought you were. You're not stabbing yourself, are you? For those that don't know, Sarah is fantastic needle felting. She likes a good stab. I've combined needle felting with card making. I've needle felted one of the fairies once. Not brilliantly, but I did have a go. I wasn't very good with the detail. Maybe I should try again now. I've had a bit of practice. Ooh, that fell in the wrong place. Quick, wipe it up. There. It's a busy background. I'll grant you that. But actually, in the flesh, I think you might find that it looks a lot better than you would expect for quite a strong background. If you wanted to quieten the background down a bit, just spritz it with water. But I quite like it. It looks quite jungly, actually. Quite lush in that greenery. So there. 2. Actually, we got 3. We just haven't got time to stamp that one up. So we've got a lovely background to play with another time. Yes, the flakes do work really well, don't they? I think so. There's blues and greens and purples and oranges. That glamour is just, yeah, like it says, it's very glamorous. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. It's nice to have a bit of an experiment and a play. And you can always go a little softer. Now we've not added any more inks through our brushes. If you wanted it a little more delicate, there. So you don't always need, that's the other good thing about those brushes, they do hold the ink. So if you are cleaning off your brushes, then get another piece of card and make another background. So quick, especially if you're doing lots. So again, thank you very much for joining me. It's been great to spend Friday evening with you. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'm going to leave you with the open day flyer. And I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Take care. Have a fabulous weekend. And thank you so much for joining me tonight. See you again soon. Bye-bye now.